Everything that you experience is an event, and an event is a story. So all of you have literally got 20,000 stories in your head, just to make that clear. An event is a story. So when you come home from a business trip and someone asks you, you know, how was your business trip? When you respond to that, you respond with a story. That's the definition of a story. You don't pull up a PowerPoint. Yeah. But how do we make that a great story? So there's a structure I love, which has 4 steps. It's called prep, background, development, conclusion. So prep, I'll say that again as I saw a bunch of you grabbing your pens. Prep, background, development, conclusion. So the prep is just 5-10 seconds of you altering the state of mind of the person you're speaking to. So it could literally sound like this. Ha ha, Sarah, I need to just tell you there's something amazing just happened this weekend. Okay, listen to this. Now that's a prep. She now knows that this will be an entertaining or a funny story. But if I were to say, oh, Sarah, you know, that last call we had, who was that, you know? Do you remember when, and I go into that, then she knows she's supposed to show empathy. So like a prep, the purpose of that, 10 seconds to alter the state of mind of the person that you're speaking to. It'll make it so much easier for them to consume and digest your story. Okay. So if I come home from a business trip, I could literally go, okay, I was in a taxi and it was just the most hilarious trip. All right, so we start. I get out of the airport. You know, that's a prep. After that, you do background. And background is, you just need to get these details. Where are you? Who is in part of the story? So where and who? And what is the problem? Okay, where are you? You're in a taxi outside of an airport. Who's involved in this? You and the taxi driver. And what's the problem? The problem is that the first thing that you smell when you get into the taxi is a slight sense of marijuana. So that's the problem. Now, we now want to know how that evolves. So you got those 3 down? We move into development. And that's when we take off in the taxi and a bunch of odd things happen. Here's the key in development. It needs to have a setback. Okay. So when you launch into the development, something happens in the taxi, there's a big problem, you crash or you almost crash or something like that. But there's got to be 1 or 2 setbacks. And then you end with a conclusion. Okay. Why was this interesting? Or was there a punchline to this? Or what should you learn to avoid? That every time you almost get into a taxi and you almost smell that sense of marijuana, pick a different taxi. You know, what's the conclusion of it?